Good morning and welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina on International Women's Day. Look at this fabulous group of gals that we've got with us. How you guys all doing?
Awesome.
I cannot believe I have these powerhouse women on our show today. I am coming live from Atlanta, Georgia, still on my little mini vacay. Well, I'm still working, but kind of on a mini vacay.
Well, we're glad that you are making time for us as you are out traveling the world and doing some personal care, some self-care time.
That's for sure. I think I needed it.
Look at these fabulous ladies. Brandy, welcome.
Hi. How are you ladies today on International Women's Day?
Doing great. Where are you coming to us from?
Utah, all the way from Richfield, Utah.
Utah. Miss Taylor Thompson, hello.
Taylor Thompson in the house.
So excited to be here with you, beautiful, amazing, genius, champion ladies. Oh my gosh, Taylor Thompson here from Prosper, Texas.
Prosper,
Texas.
A little accent, little extra syllable in there.
So Taylor, is it true? The bigger hair, the higher to God type of thing?
Well, that's what they say in Texas, but I wore the straight sleek look today. I guess I could have worn my big Texas hair, but I didn't. But I can put it a little bit for you.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, you did a video and you had just like short hair on, and you probably had like 200 comments saying, "You cut your hair."
Did you even listen to what I said? We're celebrating 40 years of Larry's training, and everybody's more concerned about my hair than what I'm talking about. Like,
what a great way to get engagement, though, right?
Yeah. I had to try that. See what happens. No, not really.
No. Don't cut. And Susie Carter in the house.
What's up, guys? Susie Carter from San Diego, California. It is sunny and amazing today. Happy International Women's Day. We are women who rock. I just want to say that right now.
And you're rocking all that pink. I'm loving it. You know I love that pink.
Only for you, girl. Only for you.
Only for me.
And
you got pink lips. I don't have pink lips. I just have nude lips. But I'm loving your background. I always have loved your background. But it says up there, well-behaved women seldom make history. I don't think there's any well-behaved women on this show today.
No, most entrepreneurs were the troublemakers, the loudmouth in class, always got in trouble, push the envelope. That's who we are. That's why we're amazing entrepreneurs. So I want to remind my students and my colleagues and my tribe that, look, when you question, that's where the juice is.
Break the rules.
That's a good question to ask everybody is like, were you the one who got, separated from all I know, well, you guys all know it was probably me, got separated from all the rest. Like, Tina, stop talking. We're going to put you over here. And then I'll still talk to that person too. And I still talk to that person too.
I got dictionary pages in 5th grade, I think, every day. I don't think I had a lunch my entire 5th grade year.
Oh, because you were talking to everybody?
Yeah.
Always in detention. In detention. Yeah, I had a lot of detention in school. And
Angel, what were you doing?
I wasn't a bad kid, right? I didn't think I was a bad kid.
You talking?
Hey, girl, listen, you guys got to learn how to do this better. You got to be able to learn how to do it and not get caught.
There you go.
You guys, come on. I did it. I just never got caught. That's
So
I got to learn a little something from Taylor. Do it. Just don't get caught.
Just don't get caught. So I would, I wasn't necessarily talking in class. I was always talking in the hallway. So I was always late to class. Mm-hmm. And then I had one teacher who would lock me out. He's like, nope, you've got to go down and get a permission slip right from the principal in order to get back into class. Oh. And he was always locking. I'm like, but it was
my friend and she needed my
help. Happy and I'm friendly and I'm good for morale.
What about you, Susie? Were you the talkative person?
What do you think? I was a little rebel without a cause back then, right? Just always questioning authority. Taylor, look, I didn't mind getting caught because I was always one pushing the buttons going, why? I don't understand. Why do I have to be quiet? Why can't I play with that kid? Why do we have to do this exercise? Why do we have to read aloud? Why?
My dad growing up, he was like, your mouth gets you in so much trouble. It's
My dad used to say that to me. It's your mouth, Tina. And I'm like,
mouth.
And now look, your mouth is making millions. Come on now.
right?
That's
I
my
love that
philosophy.
we all have that same thing in common, that we always get in trouble for talking, and now we're getting paid to talk.
Love it.
Look at us now, right?
Look at us now, teach. If you
Ain't
could
it
just tell that teacher that used to lock you out, Angel, like, oh yeah, look at me
Isn't that
now.
funny, right? We probably all have somebody in our life who they just don't know, right? Even family members, right? Loved ones, like they just don't want us to get hurt. They want us to, play it safe, and they think that they're protecting us. And, and yet told us like we couldn't be, we couldn't do, we couldn't have, like not because they didn't, I don't know, maybe they just didn't have it for themselves. And yet somehow we found a way that despite the naysayers, despite what people told us we couldn't do, we went out and we found our way. We found our way on our own path.
Yeah.
It didn't have to match up with what everybody else was doing. We could find our own way and be true to who we are, and in an authentic space. And I think about every one of these gals on here, like so different, so random in your backgrounds and what you've all been through, but you found a way to make an impact, like right in your space. You do you, not mimicking anybody else, but just you being in your true authentic space and creating energy for others to do the same is beautiful.
Yeah. I love that.
The
But
funny
we
thing
want to
is,
get to know all of these fabulous women. So I kind of want to have everybody just say who they are, what they do, and just like maybe somebody who inspired you to do what you're doing now. So we're going to start with Brandy.
So let's see, what do? I do a lot of things. I mostly teach people how to build their businesses using social media with leverage and automation. So that's my main thing. I'm a mom of 6 and a wife.
you have 6?
I
Yeah.
have 6.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hold on.
6
Say that
children.
again, Brandy. Mom of 6. She's
Right,
like,
yes,
oh
yes,
yeah,
yes,
and I'm a mom of 6.
How old are they, Brandy?
20, my oldest will be 24 on Wednesday, and my youngest is 9. So
Yeah,
Wow.
huge gap, right? Like huge gap.
yeah. So
That
yeah,
is
that's what I do. I'm
amazing.
excited to be here and share with all you amazing people watching.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Susie, it wasn't planned that way, right? Like life happened, and got divorced and married a gentleman that didn't have any of his own children. So we had 2 more together. So, and then he had one, but he never was able to raise her. So we have 6 altogether.
Oh my goodness. Good God. Okay, so Brandy, who was somebody that has inspired you to do what you do?
This is going to sound kind of corny, but it's actually my mother. My mother is one of the strongest people I've ever known, and she's been through a lot. And she just always believed in me no matter what I wanted to do. She was never like, you can't do that, or, don't do that, or, whatever. It was, you could do anything you possibly wanted. And so I did, right? I did hair. I was a cosmetologist, owned a salon for 26 years. And had some health problems with my neck. And so I started to try to figure out a way that we could make money in a leveraged way instead of trading time for dollars. Because, when you own a salon, you're making money, right? When you're running the salon or, doing hair. And so I started to look at different ways to make money. And that's how I found building network marketing. And then I found online marketing, right? And then affiliate marketing and all those things. So that whole world opened up to me because I started looking for something different. So, yeah.
Wow. Oh, I love that.
And so I didn't know, I didn't realize today, like what a connection there really is with the gals here on the screen. Because Susie, you came from that same world, that same background, yes?
I did. My vocation was, I'm a hairdresser, right? For built one of the largest salons in the country. We're the top 1% in the nation, top 10% in the world. And then we started teaching other salons and spas how to do that under the Paul Mitchell banner. And then we built the largest training and development company and sold that to Milady, which was our publisher in that industry. And then had a non-compete in that industry. That's how I started working with entrepreneurs. is they said, will you teach me what you teach for the salons? I'm like, no, I don't know anything about your business. You scare me, right? We're attracting doctors and engineers, and the craziest business I coached was a wild animal park. And my marketing strategy or my pricing strategy was I was so afraid of them, right? Just that little limiting self-talk in your head of you can't do it. You like, who are you? And they all have these degrees and pedigrees and
The San Diego Wild Animal Park?
No, it was in Michigan.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I worked at the San Diego Wild Animal Park for like 6 months.
No, they were just launching it when we started working together.
Okay.
And so my strategy was I'll double my fee and then they won't pay them, right? So they'll go away. No, they were like, absolutely, we'll pay that. Sign me up. And I'm like, oh, no, I got to figure this out quick. Then I shortly realized business is business, right? It all breaks down to financial formulas. So my vocation now is I'm a profit coach. I work with companies building them to 7-figure businesses. Only 1.7% of small businesses hit that $1 million mark. That's my passion. That's my sweet spot. And 49% of small businesses are owned by women. So let's give it up for International Women's Day, because we are rocking the house, which I'm very excited about. So that's what I do and how I do it.
1.7% of businesses hit the $1 million mark. That's right. And that's sad.
We definitely got to get that up, Susie.
That's gross sales. That's not even what they're paying themselves, right? So it's like, oh my goodness, come on. We're making it too hard. We're making it too hard. You know, that's that conversation is, oh, it's a lot of money. Well, we all know it's not. Like,
right? No.
It goes like that.
I had somebody, she's like, we've done all these things for all these years. Like we're putting people on the moon, we're solving for this, we're solving for that. Why is entrepreneurship still hard? Like it's
so hard
because we're telling ourselves it is.
Uh-huh.
Because, right? It's because there's a formula and there's a way to do it, but we're telling ourselves it is because there's too many opportunities to turn this around. But wow, I didn't realize that number was so low, Susie.
Right. Well, and you look at 15% of how we make our money is our vocation, right? So if you look at money as a pie, only 15% is what we do as a vocation. The other 85% is the sales, the marketing, the operations, and the finance, right? And we get in business and we focus on the vocation, but it's such a small piece of pie of why we're financially successful. So I started teaching people, you got to be great at your vocation. You got to be the best of the best, but you manage that. Let me help you work on the 85%. Because now when you look at net ratios and you look at how fast somebody's going to grow, if I spend all my time in that realm with you and you increase that 10%, that's exponential growth. Versus if you increase your 15%, 10%, it's kind of like womp womp, right? So a lot of times we're spending our energy in the wrong places versus going, wait, what's going to give me the highest income producing activity I can do that'll give me the highest ROI in my business. So that's fun for me, is to one, have people see that. Two, find the money. There's money everywhere. Where is it in your business? Where are you leaving it? On the table, under the table, around the table, over the table? Like, it's fun and magical and such an amazing breakthrough. And especially working with women, right? So we have some old beliefs about money and old beliefs about our roles, and having to bust out of that depending on what generation you're in. And even the new generation, just watching the millennials and watching, like kids my age, and what does money mean to them, and the roles that they live inside of, men, it's
juicy. What a perfect tie-in, because I know Taylor is all about breaking out of those molds as well and setting that precedence for women in the marketplace. So Taylor.
Okay, so I'm laughing at this because you guys are hairdressers. I'm not a hairdresser, okay? Not even close.
I am a hairdresser too.
My oldest daughter, Susie, graduated from Paul Mitchell, and my youngest daughter is about ready to go into Paul Mitchell. So there's there's the dot connector. So I thought I would share that. No, this is, I love this conversation because I find it interesting. I was not the girl who was, who was going to be in business, or I will say an entrepreneur, right? I knew I was going to be in business, but I was a West Texas girl raised in a trailer house. Mobile home park, only child, latchkey kid, pretty much raised myself. But I had I definitely wanted to see success. I lied to get my first job. when I started working at the age of 14, just because I wanted things and I was willing to work for it. And so the one thing that I did, my parents taught me was a strong work ethic. But whenever I went to school, went to college, got a degree, thought I was going to be, this successful businesswoman, but I found myself holding a baby, right? As we all do. And that changed everything for me. And that's whenever I started looking for alternatives to be able to have, work from home, to make money, mom care versus daycare. And, I didn't start doing this because I thought I was going to be a gazillionaire by any stretch of the imagination. It was just because I needed extra $800. And so I think, as you change, as your desire changes, as you go through life, you do things that, when you come to the paths and the whys in the road, where it takes you out of your own desires. And so, I, like all of you moms, I'm a mom I actually have, between Larry and I, we have 6 girls, 4 dogs. And
all girls.
Larry, I think Larry and Taylor get the award. I don't think I could do all girls. I have 4.
Yeah,
but
it's so crazy. It's so crazy. But it was one of those things that, I just never saw myself being where I am now. I'm really blessed and fortunate because what we do, I work with my husband and we work with leaders and companies as consultants, through marketing and branding, messaging, primarily simplifying messaging with network marketers. And so I have this real passion for women because I started my business as a stay-at-home mom of 3, and then went into and then did it as a single mom of 3. And so I have a vast experience dealing with women from those, because I understand the shoes. I understand what it's like to walk in those places. And so so that's what started me on this journey to start with working with women in my side hustle.
Right. You're just your side hustle, right?
Yeah. Just because I just love women. I want to see them. I just, to your point, Susie, I think that a lot of women right now, especially there's so much available, but I think that we are really working with women that don't believe, they've never been in an environment that they had that belief system that they could connect to, or a community or a culture or an incubator that they could plug into to say, maybe I can do this and maybe I do have what it takes. Listen, ladies, if you are a mom, you got some leadership skills going on. That's what I'm talking about.
Right. And speaking of communities, the She Network is probably one of the biggest communities for women entrepreneurs, for those single moms, for those moms who are in network marketing. And you have helped so many women know their true excellence. So
thank you.
Tell us how you brought She Network about.
It's a God thing. It's one of it's not something that I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. And it was God saying, yeah, I think you need to do this. And so, you kind of wrestle with the things that and that's really, and that's just being completely transparent. But it was just, instead of listening to my pastor and take notes, I was listening to the Holy Spirit give me this download in church, what it was going to look like. And I just have this vision for, really equipping, she standing for sharing her excellence, because it's really through our stories. And that's how you and I connected, Tina, was the stories. And it's the stories and it's the journeys that we really, pave the way for the women walking behind us, allowing them to say, oh my gosh, if she can do that, I can't too. And so many times I think women shrink back from sharing their story because, ladies, what it's like.
They're ashamed. They're ashamed.
Exactly. And they think it's going to be leveraged against them in some way.
Yeah.
It's going to be,
Taylor, it's kind of funny you said that, because every one of these girls on here, Brandy, you and Susie, when I reached out to you guys and we both shared stories, all 4 of us had the same story, going from single mom, getting divorced, going through that struggle and going through all of that. And I think when I first started sharing my story, it was probably, I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to, I'm so ashamed. They're going to think this about me. They're going to think this about me. But then you start seeing all these successful women who have gone through the same thing and who have taken it, and, you know, like you guys, all of you guys, and it just, oh, you know what? And just like you said, Taylor, if she can do it, I can do it.
It's so empowering, you know, and it's, and then whenever, it's like whenever you share your story, whenever you share it out loud and you hear yourself talk, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't die.
Right. But did you die? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then, you know, whenever other women, they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for telling me that. Thank you so much for sharing. Then you realize the power behind it. You realize, like, what have I been doing? Why have I been shrinking back from this? You know, and it's that limiting belief. It's that, you know, that I call it the devil on your shoulder, you know, trying to hold you back. And you know, you never know who's listening, and that's the whole key. And I always talk about, you've got one finger pointing out, but you got three coming back. So the more you talk and the more you share, the power comes back to you, that you are empowered. You know, you're not held captive to your past. It's amazing to watch it unfold. I stand in awe every time I listen to somebody's story.
Yeah.
These are, like, the fact that you're willing to share your story, like, to put yourself out there. That's the thing. Like, we're afraid, like, you know, ashamed of our past, ashamed what people are going to think about, that they're going to judge us. But I know Tina, she just recently got on stage and shared more of her story than she ever had publicly before. And the impact, the letters, the outpour of support, and just thank you, because now that you've shared that is giving me permission to go. We've all got garbage, right? We've all got baggage. We've all been through some stuff. We didn't get here like, you know, just, you know, rose petals and unicorns, right?
Yeah, right.
Like, we all, this, like, we came in skidding, like, you know, burned up, bruised up,
bloody,
around, right? Yeah. But we got back up, right? We got back up. And I think that sharing that story, sharing the success. I mean, Susie, you saying, I was afraid to take on this client. So I doubled my price thinking that, you know, they'd go away. I'm like, I love that. Like, let's just, it wasn't like you said, no, you put yourself out there, like, okay, well, if we're going to do it, right, we're going to go big or go home. And all of us, like, that's the piece that I think is special about women. We're willing to share our story. We're willing to cheerlead for each other. Like, come in the circle. Let me show you where I got this. Like, we're always referring, this is where I bought, this is my pediatrician, right? This is who I go to. It's the collaboration in the community that I think we really get to celebrate today, and how we can be there for others behind us, right? That there are others watching our story and hearing what we're doing, that we get to pave that way for that next generation of women.
And so many women are out there saying, nobody wants to hear what I have to offer. There's tons of business coaches. There's tons of marketing coaches. There's tons of life coaches. There are, but there's still tons of people who are watching you, and watching you for a reason. And no matter what street, Angel always says, you know, no matter what street you're on, there's somebody always behind you on another street trying to catch up. So you have to watch for those people to, you know, to catch up to you, so you can lead the way.
I think our message is in our mess. And if you're willing to be transparent about your mess, but what's the bridge that got you to the next level? I think a lot of people share their mess and it's just messy, right? But your mess and your message is, what's that bridge that's getting me to, how did I get out of being a single mom? How did I, you know, that $800, what did that do for me? That gives hope, that gives inspiration. So it's crafting that transparency to a level of, how do I move people to the next level, right? I think I didn't want to share my mess because it was so messy. But then I remember one day I was in this event, employees, I was teaching like how to hire the right people, and someone had just quit and sued me. And I'm teaching this class just feeling like a fraud. And I'm like, you know what? I just have to tell you the truth. I started bawling. They stood up, gave me a standing ovation. I'm like, you guys are crazy, but okay, yeah. They're like, well, finally you're real. Like you just put yourself on this pedestal trying to be the expert. It's like, oh, okay, I don't have to be the expert in everything. Here's what works, here's what doesn't, you know. So I think it's the power of just being truthful about the journey. Like,
that vulnerability is really, really key, right, to the connection with people. Because you know, with the vulnerability piece, sometimes we're like, oh, I don't want to share that, just like you're saying, Susie, with the mess, right? But I know when I finally dropped all the pretense or trying to be perfect and just decided, you know what, either you're going to like me or you're not, and I don't really give a rip. That's just kind of how it is, right? This is who I am. Like everything else opened up.
Girl, that's your 40s. That's when you do that. Whatever.
I think you're right, Susie, because as soon, I would say in the last 2 years, I've been like that. You know what? I don't even care.
I don't care what
You don't like me? Oh, well, bye.
You know, here's the thing. Like, I truly believe that. I'm sorry, that's one of the dogs. That's real life.
That's one of her 4 dogs.
You know, I think, you know, so many women, you know, it's like they don't even realize their gift.
Mhm.
And they don't even realize that their gift is, I mean, the thing that is their excellence, right? I use the word excellence, is the gift that everybody's looking for. And they go, why does anybody want to hear about that? Know about that? Everybody knows that. No, they don't.
Mm-mm.
They don't realize that their excellence, their lane of genius, every other woman needs. They need that. They need to hear that. And so that's the thing that I want to empower women to think in those frames of thought. I mean, like I spent like Brandy and I spent 30 minutes on the phone, you know, Friday. And I took 2 pages of notes going, and it's just rolling off her tongue, like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like,
Right?
mind blown. Like, I'm like going, oh my God, she's an alien. Like,
Listen, I'm like that when I'm talking to any one of you guys. I'm like, hold on, can you record this real quick? Because you're just like, it just starts coming off your tongue,
you know,
right? And you're like, wait, you just said, wait, I gotta write this down.
I mean, it was brilliant, you know. And then I mean, like, you know, like, you know, with you angels, like, you know, like whenever you like Google search us now, like, oh, I mean, like, ladies, if you need PR, like this, she's like, how did she do that? She's like the magician. She's like pulls the rabbits out of the hats. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. And
Well,
so,
you give me good stuff to work with, Taylor. Like you had some really good stuff to create. Like your story is so powerful, and the Google loves it, right? The Google just loved what
The
you're
Google.
doing.
the Google machine loves, I mean, like, but I guess I'm sharing all that is just because there's so much, and I'm sitting here listening to you, Susie, and I'm like going, oh my God, I need to talk to her. Like, right?
I know, I'm all Googling you all over here. Like, okay, who's
Well,
Brandy?
it's okay because she's gonna be on the She Network here soon. I have her getting scheduled.
You know,
Awesome.
but ladies, do you find this to be true too? That I think there's an element that sometimes that we kind of like pull back a little bit because, and I've seen this before, and I've always been really transparent. Like if I like your shoes, or if I think you're cute, or I like your eyeballs, or whatever.
I like your eyeballs.
Like I will tell you, because I know how that makes me feel, right? And so I'm like, I look for things to say like, oh my gosh, you're amazing. Oh my gosh, I love that outfit. Oh my gosh, I love those shoes. Oh my gosh, like where did you get that to? Because I want women to feel good.
Taylor, I used to have this, I had this guy, he would say, he's like, you women, you guys are so catty. I see you, like when somebody walks in, you like look each other up and down. He's like, you're so catty. I said, no, we're not. We're shopping, right? Like we're looking at how she put her stuff together.
And let me tell you, we don't dress for you men out there. We dress for the other women in the room.
Yeah, I'm like, I will compliment her. Like, I'm not being nasty. Like, he's like, I'm like, is that what you think we're
like,
doing?
ooh, I like those shoes. Ooh, I like
I'm like,
that.
no. I'm like, look how she put that together and this, that, and that print with this. Like, I'm like, we're not being catty. We're shopping. We're encouraging
And
these
women
things.
do that.
Why does he have that perspective?
It was weird.
Because we're thinking, oh my God, she's all put together, but we don't take it to the next step and tell them that we think you really look put together, right? I've seen this, that I've watched it unfold. I've even done it. I've done it myself. And I'm like, tell her.
Tell
I mean,
her.
it's like,
Yeah.
tell
Tell
her.
her.
And then when you do, she goes, oh my God, it took me like 2 hours. This is like my second outfit. I had to put this on. This was like a last minute thing. And you're like, dang, well, you look good.
So
Tell her. I love that phrase.
just tell her.
Yeah.
Tell her that you think she's amazing. Because I'm telling you, in her brain, she's doing exactly what Tina said. She was like, oh my God, did I pick the right shoes? Oh my God, did I get the right outfit? Oh my gosh, did my lipstick, does this really go? Oh my gosh, did I get the back of my hair
And
combed?
then she's wondering, well, why is she looking at me? Do I have something on my nose?
Exactly. Ladies, we know this, and we just like, come on, let's just take the next step and like, tell them how awesome they are. Look for, just, anyway, those are the conversations that I like to have in meetings like this, right? This is where the fun is.
I don't have a rule, and the unspoken rule is I don't have time for that, right? So if someone's being catty, I don't want them in my sphere, right? And if we go out for drinks or coffee, you can't bag on your man, because it's too hard to be married, it's too hard to be in a relationship, it's too hard to have amazing girlfriends where you're sitting and going, Angel this and Angel that and Brandy this and Brandy that. It's like, I don't have time for that. So like women talk about women being catty. I've been blessed that the women I attract are women like you, and we have this sisterhood, this like, let's get together. But I realized that early on, I chose not to be in that sphere. It was so nasty. You just felt slimed.
Yeah.
Like, protect that space, right? You're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. So if I'm hanging out with 5 powerful women, I want to be 5 powerful women. I want to hang out with 5 catty women. I'm involved in this one group, and I'm just like, they're amazing. They're 7, 8. You gotta qualify to be in this club. And every time I go, I'm like, something's just not right. I just don't feel that sisterhood. I feel like there's competition. Like, my business is doing this and my business is doing that. And I'm like, I don't think these are my people. Like, I don't care how big you're playing. Your ego is too big.
Just remember where you came from. That you were not always up there.
Out, right? This is to help your sisters out. And you're like, you can't say that. You can't do that. I'm asking for help, which is the whole premise of this group.
Yeah, right?
I love this conversation, Susie, because like for me, it's like I want to shut down those conversations.
Yes.
Early
yes,
on.
girl. Yes.
Like, just shut that down. Like, just shut that down. Like, you know what? We're not like, change the conversation, change the trajectory, because I've had people say, well, did you say this about me? No, your name was not in my mouth.
Yeah.
It was not in my mouth. So no, that conversation would have never happened and I try to, unless it's something really, really good, I discipline myself to keep people's names out of my mouth for that particular reason, because it's so unhealthy. It's so unhealthy.
I'm edifying you, right? My goal is to edify you. If I'm talking about you, I'm edifying you. And if there's something that maybe I'm upset about you, go to the source. Don't talk smack. Now, if let's say I'm upset with Angel, I'll call Tina to go, okay, here's what's up for me. How do I approach this? Right? That's being proactive, and Tina's responsibility is to go, here's how you approach it. Not get up and what you do, girl? How did it happen? What you say? Because it's so easy to go down that path, right? If you're not trained.
Yeah.
And so it's really, building that muscle of, like you said, Taylor, edifying each other, supporting each other, lifting each other up versus tearing each other down. There's so much room at the table. There's money everywhere. If I can help anyone get to that next level from the disaster I've had, right? Because your message is in your mess, to go, you won't make that mistake. You might make another one, but you're not gonna make that one.
You might make another one.
Right.
It's still, why would you want to be the only one up there? How
That's
lonely
super
would that
lonely.
be, instead of having your 10 best girlfriends up there with you?
Well, and don't you guys think that collaboration is just way more fun? Like,
is.
it's just way more fun. Just collaborate and serve other people. It's just way more fun.
That's been my motto, like, since I started this unit, is, where we collaborate and not compete.
Yeah.
And it is true. It is true. But I always I say, I took this phrase from Larry. I learned this from him. He was like, I can show you how to walk on water.
Right.
Oh, wow. Really? Yeah. Because I know where all the rocks are.
I bet
Mary's a smart one.
I like that. That's awesome.
So, it's kind of means like, just don't do what I did. Right. Just learn from my mistakes here.
Yeah, right.
It really is finding those unicorns, right? And it's really having other women believe that this is a safe place. Like I have to say, my tribe is one of the juiciest tribes on the planet. We are loving, we are supportive, we're faith-based, right? And people are like, is this real? Come anytime, anywhere. This is what it is. We just attract these women who are free to be them, who are willing to say, oh my God, I'd say go call Brandy. She's had 6 kids. I've only had 2 on purpose. I've tied those puppies after 2 and went, I can't do this. And like to choose, right? To go, oh my God, sit at your feet and tell me, how did you manage your schedule? How did you build a business? Like that's a whole nother niche, girl.
It is a whole nother niche for sure. And you know what? Here's the thing. I think there's millions and millions and millions of people, right? Your tribe is out there. Like Susie has a different tribe than I do, right? Tina has a different tribe than I do. Taylor has a different tribe. Angel has it. And there's enough for everyone. That's the key.
All
like
you need is like 100 good people. You
Yeah.
know?
Cross-pollinate those tribes. When you get a good one, I'm like, oh, there's another one. There's another unicorn. They do exist.
They do
right?
exist.
Okay, so we have a question. What would you tell your younger self right now? What would you tell your younger self? Everybody's going, oh, Jesus. I think I know what Brandy's would be. Okay, Brandy, what would
They
you
always pick on me first.
She's like, no
You
time
must
to
be
think.
prolific, girl. It's because you're prolific.
Oh,
We're waiting.
that's
I'm
funny.
I'm gonna write it down.
Hey, we know you know how to think on your toes. You have 6 kids. So
It's
there's
true.
right? You're
It's
like this.
true. Yeah.
Okay, so what would you tell your younger self?
I
Brandy?
would tell my younger self that to believe in myself sooner and that where, you know, it really doesn't matter what other people think because it's not about them.
Yeah.
It's about you. But then what you're serving them, it's not about you, it's about them. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like a catch-22. My biggest phrase that I love to say is with what we do online and building businesses is it's not about you. It never was.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, serving other people. But as a younger self, I guess I didn't feel qualified enough to own the type of business I own now. And
we thought we wanted everybody to think that we were so good. I like the phrase that what other people think of you is none of your business.
That's so true.
Right? What other people think of you is none of your business. All right, Taylor, what would you say to your younger self?
I would give myself more authority to believe. I mean, I think belief really determines behavior without question. But what I mean is give myself the authority to move past it. And what I really want to say is that I spent so much time beating myself up about what I didn't get done yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Or what I didn't get done last week, or what I didn't get done last month, instead of celebrating, you know, maybe
that little bit that you did get done.
Maybe that I got out of bed yesterday, right? I mean, like we all know what that's. I mean, like ladies, we can talk about this. You know, we know what it's like to be in a pit, and sometimes just getting out of bed and putting both feet on the floor can be your accomplishment.
Yeah.
And so
sometimes just taking a shower is your biggest accomplishment.
we all know what that's like too, right?
Yeah.
But so much of the time, then, you know, when you have those days that I spent like beating myself up, like, why didn't I do more? You know, I'm very type A. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Why did da? And so then I spend that day thinking about what I didn't do yesterday. Like
this is like a catch-22,
right?
So I use the analogy of like, it's like driving, right? We spend so much time looking in the rear view mirror, and you can't go fast. You know, you can't drive very fast if you're looking in the rear view mirror. You can only go fast if you're looking in the big windshield of the road ahead. And so I would tell myself, you know, stay focused on the road ahead and not be looking in the rear view.
Stop looking back. Yeah.
That's good.
I like that.
All right.
Some deep stuff today, right?
All right, Susie, how about you?
Juicy. Ooh, I was sitting here, all kinds of emotions running up, right? Because I grew up and somebody needs to hear this. It's just, I listen to Spirit and Spirit said share it. So
I need to hear it.
I grew up in a very abusive home, verbally abusive, sexually abusive, physically abusive, and then repeated that pattern by getting married to somebody that was verbally abusive and physically abusive. And my younger self was just trying to be loved, right? I tried to be good enough. I would try to fill my good enough with other things, right? With sex and men and buying shit that I didn't need because I was trying to fill this big hole in my heart. And so I think I would really share that the gift truly is wrapped in sandpaper, and that every single one of those instances made me the woman I am today. But I spent so much time in my youth being the victim and the martyr and thinking it was me, like it was me. I was this person that caused like my mother to leave. I was this person that caused my husband to leave. I was this person. And the reality was I just had this big, vast, empty hole that nobody could fill, right? It wasn't until I got into therapy that I could love myself. And you can't love other people. You can't love your children until you truly love yourself. And so even though I started working on myself early, there's still such a journey to get rid of all that baggage and to forgive yourself quicker, faster, because it's not I can't control what occurred as a kid, but I can now love myself for who I am and love my children. That was my sole purpose with my children will never experience what I experienced. I was a mama cub. I'm gonna come after you. You come after me. You come after them. I'm coming after you. Right? I had my little hood rat came out. The girl from the barrio came out. Like these are my cubs.
Exactly.
It's like my kids, my girls always say, just know that if you did anything to hurt me, my mom does not like you. And I'm like, that's right. That's
And
right.
that's scarier than the dad. People think it's the dad. You get that mama cub after you.
And I'm the same way about my husband. If you do anything to my husband, just know, you do anything to my husband, this mama don't like you.
Already.
I'm coming for you. I think
Even if he forgives you, I'm not going to.
And my girls too, my women friends too. I got you, right? I'll jump in the foxhole with you. I'll stand in front of you, behind you, beside you, where you need me to stand. I got
Tell
you.
me where you need the bodies buried. We'll go for it.
I think we all need that. And it's so funny because everybody always tags me in this post when it goes around. You know, you all know that one friend who you say, hey, I need your help. And they say, I got the shovel and the bleach. And they're all, Tina, you're that friend. I'm like, what? And I'm like, well,
because Tina, you would make it fun.
Yeah, she would. It would be some kind of party.
Some kind of scavenger hunt. We're gonna bury him here.
I mean, like, that's why you got, I don't know if I'd join you or not, because I could get away with it. I'd join you along, I'd get caught. I don't know. You'd be laughing all, I'm like,
She'd bring glitter.
let's bring a party. But I think we all need those friends who, you know, if somebody else is talking about me, I want you, don't talk about her. She's a good person, you know, and stop it right there. Or, you know, whatever, you know, hey, Tina needs this. We're all there. You know, whatever it is, you know, you need a body, you know, buried, I'm there. I think we all need those girls, those women who are there for us. And I feel so very blessed to have all of you guys in my life, because during those times when I needed that lifting up, it was you women who said, come on, Tina, let's do this. Come on, let's do this. Come on, let's do this. You know, Taylor and I have had extensive conversations, you know, talking about work stuff. It ends up being like a 2-hour conversation. We cry, we laugh, we pray, we're crying again, we're laughing again, we pray again. And it's that lifting up that you need every once in a while. Sometimes it's her, sometimes it's me, you know, but it's that kind of lifting up that we all need. And no matter where you are in life, if you're an 8-figure earner, then bring some people up there with you, you know, and never forget, like Susie said, never forget who and where you came from.
Right.
I think that's a really, really good, you know, that's a really good conversation to be had, Tina. And I think there's a lot of women, you know, hence the community that I want to create, that I'm looking to create, because I don't think that there's a lot of women that have those kind of people in their ear. And especially as you, the more successful you come into business, because people see you.
Your circle starts shrinking.
Your circle, because you really don't know, okay, how transparent can I really be? How vulnerable can I truly be? You know, am I creating a target on my back? Because,
Right.
I mean,
If I tell her this, is she gonna try to use this against me?
I'm telling, because, and I'm like an open book. And I honestly, I mean, I've been burned and jabbed so many times. It's crazy, right? And like we all have. And I'm like, okay, that's just not the person I choose I'm going to be. But but in order for us to have those kind of people, we need to be those
You
kind
need to be that person.
Yeah, I think that's the key, is being that person first.
And so I think, I'm like listening in whenever, if you're in that place and you need that kind of people and you are looking for that kind of camaraderie, if you will, then start looking about who you can be that for, and those relationships will grow in those arenas. That's what I've learned to be true.
But I love what you and Tina are saying, Taylor. That's business, right? I think we learn to compartmentalize and pretend that I remember used to trying to be a man, right? My blue suit, my splash of red, right? My short haircut, trying to fit into a man's world. And the reality is we cry, we're women, we'll support each other. Then this is business. I want relationship business. I want, business that's built on something versus a dollar transaction. Yes, we all have to make money. Yes, we all have families to provide for, but it can be done with dignity and respect and integrity and, and love and friendship, right? To go, wow, these are my ride or die community. This is my ride or die support system. Because you can't build a multi-million-dollar company alone. It's too hard. And nobody wants to. It gets very segmented and very fragmented. And you just need to go, okay, am I crazy right now? Because this is what I'm feeling. Yeah. And you got to have that community that's willing to tell you the truth, because you do start to believe your press. You get to a certain level, or you forget what it was like, at 6 figures versus, 9 figures. And you're like, oh, okay, I've got to shift. I've got to remember. I mean, that's the power of having a really strong tribe and community to keep you humble, to keep you gracious, to keep you being honest and telling the truth and not believing your press, right? Because press is great, but it's strategy.
So you ladies have just poured into us, poured into our audience today. I want to thank you so much for just being women, right? We celebrate women today on International Women's Day. We want to make sure that our audience has a chance to connect with you, to follow up with you. So tell us what exciting projects you've got coming up and how they can connect with you. And Susie, I'm going to start with you.
I love it. So we've got a Big Money Business Summit coming up in June. I know it seems far away, but we're all planning. And I would love, love, love for you to come and join our community and join our tribe and see. It's all about Sales Summit. So this last one was Growth Summit. This one is Sales Summit. Like, let's make the money, right? How are we getting that money, capturing that money, leveraging the money? So you can find me by my name, Susie Carter, C-A-R-D as in dinero, dollar. That's my social, that's my website, right? All my social handle. Please feel free to reach out. And got some amazing gifts. If you click right on the front page, we do a 10-point assessment of where your business is and how we might be able to support you in taking your business to that 1.7%. Join the $1 Million Club. Join the $1 Million Club. Come on.
And she just had an amazing summit last week. Oh my gosh. I kept popping in and out, and I'm just like, I just love this chick. I love her because you make it fun. And if it's not fun, Tina Torres is not doing it.
I always say math is money and money is fun. People may not like the math, but they like the money and what it can do for you. So let's have fun with it.
Isn't that the truth? You got to figure that out, right?
You have a thing. You have your PhD, right?
I do have my PhD. I'm sorry, I did not share that in the beginning. So, it's my public high school diploma. So if I can do it, you all can do it. I'm just saying. I used to get all intimidated by all these people with their academia and their pedigrees.
You're like, I have a PhD too.
My public high school diploma. I'm like, that girl rocks. Like, that girl just totally rocks.
Your mess is your message. If you don't get anything, your mess is your message.
Right.
Which means we all have a mess. It means we all have a message. All right. How about you? Well, I'll go to Brandy since Taylor's.
I'm sorry, my computer was about to die. I thought I had
Oh
it.
no.
I was like,
Our cable
Oh,
guy
no.
showed up here because we're having the cord got slashed by the lawnmower, and so they showed up here this morning. We've kind of got it like jimmy rigged together so I can do the show, and I'm like, they're gonna come. So Jay asked him to come back and
I know, she's texting me. She goes, just in case I pop off.
I give you the power. All right, so you're all plugged in. Taylor, tell us exciting projects you've got coming up and how to connect with you.
Okay, so exciting project. Well, it's always exciting no matter what it is, right? So it's kind of confusing. I don't want to say confusing because my husband and I work together. So I'm super excited about our book club that we have, that we go clubbing with Larry and Taylor every Friday. So we host this for any entrepreneurs. So through our book with the Millionaire Training, so you can go to themillionairetraining.com and get your free chapter of our book, How to Employ Yourself, because every entrepreneur needs to know how to employ themselves. And then we go clubbing every Friday. We go live, we talk about principles, and we share stories of people that are implementing these concepts and principles within their business and the success that they're having. So you can come clubbing with Larry and Taylor. And so the exciting
that is so cute. I want to go clubbing.
I don't know if we can. I tried to go clubbing this week, and oh my God, let me just tell you, I could not keep up. I am not 21 anymore. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, I miss those days are over for some, but we keep it fun and we keep it real, but just join the club, right?
Yes.
Club, girls, club. That's the kind of clubbing I like. We're learning, we're growing, we're having friendship time. That's awesome.
And then if you want for the She Network, because we talked about the She Network, I have a free group. You can go to my She Facebook.com groups, My She Network. And then also we have myshenetwork.com, which is our membership site for, women entrepreneurs, where we edify, empower, encourage, and build up women entrepreneurs.
And there is a special coming up to join She Network for like a whole year, right? Like a lifetime membership or a year membership too. So you guys got to watch out for that.
Yes. So it's going to be exciting because I'm getting ready to launch the CEO of Your Life.
Ooh.
It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait for it. So cool.
Good stuff. Like good stuff. Everybody's like, oh, I want that. I need that.
Right? I need that.
All right, Brandy, how about you?
Well, I am actually doing a challenge coming up. Let's see, it starts actually tomorrow. It's called Post Like a Pro, and it's going to teach you exactly how to use social media from the very beginning to getting started on social media and getting clients, people reaching out, all those things. And so you can go to Social Media Influencer Secrets on Facebook and you can join the challenge, but you have to tell them Brandy brought you or they will not let you in. So make sure that you tell them when you answer the questions to get into the group that I brought you, because they're going to be like, who are all these people joining our group? So just put Brandy in the questions. Make sure you answer all the questions. They're very sticklers about who we let in. So it's a free challenge. It's going to be amazing. And that's how you're going to find me this week. So it's going to be fun.
How about you, Tina?
Powerhouse women in here. I feel so honored to be like with them. I'm like, whoa, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that too. Well, I mean, you and I both, we're like rocking and rolling with the Angel and Tina morning show, so we are booking up for April and May. So if you guys, if you know any rock stars, if you are a rock star in your industry, if you have wrote a book, building a brand, whatever it is, we want you on our show. So reach out to me. However you can get a hold of me, reach out to me. You can find me everywhere. Tina Torres Gratitude Specialist is everywhere. But, reach out to me. I'll get you on the show. You can be part of our tribe and part of these amazing women that we have here.
Yep, we have the Connect Summit coming up March 31st. Our first one we kicked off in February. It was all about financials and systems. It was fabulous.
In fact, all three of these women are part of our
A part of, yeah, they're all
Part of our
speaking
speaker
on our
series.
Connect Summit. So the next one is about using speaking, media, and publicity to get your message out into the world. That's March 31st. You can go to connectavirtualsummit.com to get your free tickets. Register today. Do not miss out. We have an incredible speaker team coming to you this entire year. Super excited and just honored to be with this group of women here today. You ladies, you inspire me, you've mentored me, you've supported. I mean, and I've just watched you. I love your story. I love your journey. And I love that you all came on to hang out with us here today to celebrate International Women's Day. You could have been anywhere.
Right?
And you were here. So I appreciate
But
that.
I also want to tell the people out there to go out there and support those women. If you see somebody, if she's rocking those heels,
Tell
her.
Tell her, yes, that's
Tell
our
her.
phrase for today. Tell her, tell
Yes.
somebody, right? Go and tag them. Tell them how much they mean to you. If somebody's inspired you, they don't even know it. They were the wind beneath your wings. You heard their story. Let's just love on each other today.
Yeah, let's flood social media with all the stories, you know, of how you got inspired. That moment that she said this and it changed your life. The moment that she did this for you and it changed your life. Tag that person. Let's flood social media today with all those inspiring women on International Women's Day.
All right, grab your complimentary media starter kit at my website, makeyourbigimpact.com, makeyourbigimpact.com. Sign up for the Connect Virtual Summit at connectvirtualsummit.com.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I love you and adore you. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show, where we come to you live every weekday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern. We will see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. Appreciate you. Have a blessed day.
Bye.
All right, so Tina, you have to make me the host so I can turn off the live.
Oh.